This is their life. This was their living. This was their sweat, their blood, their hopes, their dreams, their promises. This was their devotional times. This is the times they were crying out. Now, we live today on the other side, and we ought to be looking back saying thank you. When we read the Psalms, we ought to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. In the midst of all of their trials, in the midst of all of their travels, in the midst of all of their enemies, they had this unbelievable certainty that God reigned. They had this certainty of God's reign, that what God has begun, He will finish, that what God has established, He will complete, that the people He has chosen to be His people will ultimately see victory. This is why the Psalms are so important to our worship, because they remind us of who we are and whose we are. It reminds us of the truth of our circumstances. It reminds us of who God is and what God promises to do. When we sing these Psalms, we are reminded of the same truth that the psalmist knew. This is what David is saying. I will sing of both sides of your love for me. I'm going to sing of your love that's both merciful and that part that's judgment. Now, understand, David had experienced both sides. When the storms pass, and they will, by the way, they will pass. When they do, you need to pay attention to the storm gauges in your life. You need to pay attention to those hot button areas in your life. And you need to expose them to the Lord. The Psalms can be a wonderful salve, a wonderful medicine, a wonderful oasis, a wonderful answer to those times when they come to us. Our worship and our times together in the presence of the Lord and filling up on the goodness of God and blessing His name and all the things that we do are for the purpose of overflowing into a world that badly needs the grace of God. Sooner or later, the strongest, most powerful words, the words that cause us to rise up and see God as He truly is going to have some mention of this kingdom that David writes about.